Hi, so I'm just about to set off for my Scotland road trip. The weather is atrocious, absolutely blowing a gale. It's Storm Amy, I believe. Blowing a gale, wet, etc. What can you do? You can't sort of sit around and wait for that British weather, can you? So I'm going to set off. I'm going to nip to the fuel station first. I've checked everything over. Fingers crossed, it'll all be good in the hood. I'll keep you updated as I go. Well, as you can see, the weather is shocking. I've just filled up with fuel, setting off now from Bolton in Lancashire, and I'm going to probably head to somewhere called Hawick, I think, Hawick, which is in Scotland. It's telling me it's 2 hour 40 drive.
In a quarter of a mile,
So
turn
you
the roundabout,
see.
take the second exit
Yes.
and stay onto Hawick Way,
Very, very windy, very wet. I got drenched at the petrol station. It's absolutely blowing a hoolie. So I shall be very careful how I drive and just take my time. So I've just got on the motorway. I've tried to set polar steps. I've downloaded that app because I was told it's really good. I don't know if I've done it right. It had a choice of plan or track, so I put it onto track. But I don't know, it looks a bit odd to me. I'll be most annoyed if it's not tracking. But anyway, that's all I can do. So I'm just going really steady. It's awful, as you can see, the weather, blowing the van around a little bit. So I shall be a very good girl, very sensible. A lot of standing water on the road. So I'm just going really steady because in the past, years back, when I had a nice sports car, I remember hitting water really fast. Well, obviously at the speed limit, and aquaplaning, and it's just like hitting a sheet of ice. So just a little tip. I mean, I'm sure you all know this, but just look out for standing water. Don't go racing through it. Just take your time, really. So I'm just plodding along, 60 miles an hour, 55, and that'll do me. I'd rather get there in one piece. Also, when it's really windy and you're in a high-sided vehicle like myself, just keep an eye out for when you come to gaps. So at the moment I'm shielded on the one side with lots of trees, etc. But when you get a gap, or if you're going over a bridge or things like that, you can get a sudden gust coming from the side. So you do need to have your wits about you. You do need to be careful, and you do need to concentrate, which is why I'm being a very good girl. I'll give you one more look at the horrible weather, and it's, yeah, just awful. But hey ho, on we go. Did I just say it's like hitting a sheet of glass when you're aquaplane? I think I did, but I can't edit. So what I meant was it's like a sheet of ice. Can't remember what I said, but hey ho. Yeah, and I was just reminiscing about the car I had. It was a Lexus SC430, navy blue, cream leather, 4.3 V8. I loved that car, absolutely loved it. However, it was a very quick but refined, and yeah, I accidentally had a heavy right foot, and when I got to 10 points on my licence, I thought, Anne-Maria, get a grip. So sadly I had to slow down, but that was very irresponsible. I do not condone speeding, but yeah, that car was a dream. And then I also had a Range Rover Sport, which I loved for different reasons. You had to drive the two very differently. The old Range Rover's quite tall and it would roll if you went round corners too quick, but very luxurious, very comfortable. And now I have Connie, my camper van, and I love Connie. It's funny how you go through different stages of your life, isn't it? Yeah, I absolutely love her. I look after her, I drive her carefully. I try not to ever go above the speed limit, because that's something else to bear in mind for full-time van life, or anybody driving, actually. You know, if you lose your licence, just imagine where you would be. Nightmare, doesn't bear thinking of. So, yeah, I just thought I'd give you that little insight into some of my life story. Yeah, I got Range Rover because at the time I had a horse, and I wanted to tow a horse box with it. Gorgeous horse, lorry, ex-race horse, beautiful soul. Sadly, over Rainbow Bridge, miss him terribly. lifestyle with a horse. It's not just a hobby. It really, you know, it's a massive impact on your life if you're going to look after it properly, which of course I did. And also I used to have a dog and a cat, and again, sadly, no longer with us. But the way my life is at the moment, let me just check what I'm doing here. I need to move over a bit. I don't want any more pets. I do not want that commitment, and I wouldn't be able to do what I was doing now if I had them, because I would never have just left them or rehomed them. So for me, an animal is a lifetime commitment for that animal. I'd have it no other way. And also the fact I have a pet sitting business, you may have seen in other videos, it just wouldn't fit in with that lifestyle anyway, you know, taking my dog, cat, whatever to somebody else's home. But I just don't want the commitment. I don't, you know, I know lots of van life people, people who go in their camper vans, motorhomes, have pets. That's fantastic. It's not for me. You know, the one thing I hate is dog hair and the muck. It must be so difficult to keep your van clean. But I do understand that they give you company, etc. But yeah, huge commitment. You know, you've got to, lots of places you can't take them. You've got to be able to keep them warm when it's freezing, cool when it's red hot. Yeah, very difficult, I imagine. But people cope,
2
and
miles,
that's very
use the
admirable.
right lane to take the exit towards M6.
On the M6. So anyway, I've waffled on a little bit there. Yeah, I just thought I'd give you a bit of an insight. So just been through my 4th set of roadworks in an hour. Good grief. Average speed cameras here. I don't know why people think it doesn't apply to them, but they go whizzing by. Hey ho. Anyway, I put this on because there's some beautiful hills here. I'm in the Lake District now. I'm not exactly quite sure where. I have seen a sign saying that the A66 is closed to high-sided vehicles, caravans, etc. I'm not sure if I'm meant to be going on the A66, but I guess I shall soon find out. Oh, that's a big truck.
There's a mobile speed camera reported ahead.
Oh, there we are, you see. Here, the mobile camera, the average speed checks are the yellow ones. That lorry's from Poland. So yes, some nice scenery we're coming up. I'll leave it on a little longer so you can see what the road's like. And also, I guess it's interesting for people to see what it's like driving a camper van. My hair's still damp from when I got soaked at the petrol station. It takes forever to dry my hair. Oh, I love the scenery, it's beautiful. All the little fields all sectioned off with all the dry stone walling. I often look at the dry stone wall and I think, God, I wonder who actually built that, when it was built, and their life story and where they lived. I love stuff like that. I love history. I'll just leave the camera a little longer to see what's around the corner. Cameras everywhere nowadays, isn't there? Wipers on. Raining again. So it's 10 degrees. It did at one
There's a
stage.
mobile speed camera reported ahead.
It did at one stage go to 11 degrees, but it's back down to 10. So it'd be interesting to see what temperature it is when I get to where I'm going. I'll just camera up on the camera here. Leave my wipers on, I'm afraid. It might drive you a bit mad. Oh wow, I don't think this camera will pick it up. On the left, there's some cattle on a very, very, very steep hill. Hill, I think that'd be, not a mountain. And I don't know many cattle, but they were belted Galloway. Very distinct, all black, with a white belt goes right round their middle. But gosh, that was really steep. But as I say, I don't think it would pick it up on here, sadly. Whoops, mind your speed up, Maria. So I'm currently at T-Base Services. I've just pulled in. I'm trying to see if this polar steps thing's working. I'm still not sure. Anyway, got myself a little something I prepared earlier. When I'm at the services, I try not to go and leave my van. And that's the great thing about having a camper van. I've got everything I need in here. So I just think it's somewhere where you could end up getting your vehicle nicked or broken into or stuff like that. So that's what I do. But yeah, travelling along, just see how it all goes. Seems okay so far. I've looked at the map. I don't think I'm hitting the A66, so that's all good. Right, I'm gonna have a bite to eat. Bye. So just finished my lunch, and whilst I was eating lunch, I kept hearing, well, I was driving as well actually, hearing a little bip, and I thought, it's either my smoke detector or my carbon monoxide detector. So I've just waited and listened, and it was my smoke detector. So I've taken it off and replaced the battery. Really important you get a smoke detector and a carbon monoxide detector if you have gas in your van. And really important that your battery's done. Never sort of take a battery out and chuck it to one side and think, oh, I'll get another one, because you can guarantee you won't. So make sure, if you haven't got a battery there and then, put the smoke detector somewhere where you can't possibly forget, like on top of your bed or something, so that you see it there and think, I need a battery. So don't forget, it's no good having it if it doesn't work. They don't cost much. I've got one smoke detector and a carbon monoxide detector, excuse my hand over the screen, mounted here. So for safety, make sure you do it. Don't forget. Right, I'm going to get in the driving seat and crack on. So we're starting to get into even more lovely countryside. Still got a 50-mile-an-hour limit on here now. Still very, very windy, but it's stopped raining. Yay! So before I set off, one of my windows, it's got a sliding window at the side, you'll have seen in my other videos. I hope this camera's at an alright angle. Somehow the water's getting in the channel, and there was a slow drip coming inside, and I thought, oh no, that's a pain. So I taped it up with this waterproof tape. While I was at it, I thought, well, it's meant to be horrendous weather and rain. I'll take the other window in case that one starts leaking. Epic fail. I've just checked at the service station and it started peeling off already with the force of the wind while I'm driving. I'm like, flipping heck. So that's a real pain. So I'm just going to have to keep an eye on it. Hope that the channel dries out sufficient enough for me to try that stuff I mentioned before, which was Captain Tolly's creeping crack. What a tongue twister. And apparently that works by capillary action, and if you've got any leaks it will get in there and stop them. So fingers crossed I can do that and that will sort it out. But yeah, what a pain. Anyway, enough of me wittering on. Look at this lovely scenery. Where am I now? Let's have a look on this roadside. It reckons I'm an hour and a half from where I'm going. So off to the left is Shap, and then onwards is Carlisle and Penrith. So as well as UK viewers, I do have viewers from around the world really. I know there's a lady from Australia, there may be more than one, but this lady has made herself known. So hello there, you know who you are. I've got followers in America and various places. So this I think is nice for them to, they may never have been to the UK but are planning on coming, or just maybe interested in watching, but it just gives them an idea of the roads, the scenery, all that sort of stuff really. So hopefully you're finding it interesting. Gosh, I'm getting buffeted around here. Here we are, yeah. 29 miles from Keswick, 12 from Penrith. So no doubt the scenery is going to get even more spectacular. I have been to, I nearly said France, I have been to Scotland before. A few occasions. I've done this Southwest Coast 300, which was fantastic. I've done the NC 500, which was spectacular. I've also done the Outer Hebrides top to bottom, They were just stunning. I think 7 ferries, Mull, Skye. So I've seen a fair bit of it. I've been right up to John O'Groats, etc. But there's still masses I haven't seen. So this is why I'm coming back up. Sadly, I only have a week this time, but it is what it is. I'd rather spend a week up here than not spend any time. So yeah, so the one I'm doing this time is the historic borders route, which takes me up and across to Edinburgh, and then the Heart 200 route, which is, I'd only just discovered that, the sort of heart of Scotland. I'll put the route up so you'll see. And I've checked my polar steps, and fingers crossed that seems to be working. I think. Fingers crossed. So I've just come off the M6 and at junction 44 and joined the A7, which is the start of the historical borders tourist route. So we'll see how we get along. I haven't seen a sign yet saying, mind you, I must be there, must I? Welcome to Scotland. I always miss it. I'm always like, oh damn, there it was. But I'll try and keep an eye out for that. But yeah, so this is the start of the route, and oh look, more roadworks. Marvellous. This must be, I think, the 6th lot of roadworks in just under 2 hours driving. Honestly, I suppose that the roads do need repairing, but a lot of the time there doesn't seem to be anybody working on them. But hey ho, so we just wait at these signals. So yeah, I'm interested to see what this route's going to be like. I've been to Edinburgh in the past, way back, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, and at that stage was in a 9 metre, just under 9 metre motorhome, and there was nowhere I could find to park in Edinburgh, so stopped at a campsite nearby and got the bus in. Beautiful city, really nice, but as I've mentioned in other videos, I'm not keen on parking in cities, just because the fact that the camper vans and motorhomes get targeted for being robbed. Not just the camper vans and motorhomes as in the whole vehicle robbed, but you know, they break in for stuff because they know you're going to have stuff in there. Honestly, anyway, I won't go into that. So I tend to, sadly, because it's great, you know, I like cities as well, but I just tend to avoid them for that simple reason. And also places, if they to me, if they can't be bothered to provide some sort of parking or welcome the motorhomers, caravanners, whatever, camper vanners, then I don't go there, I won't spend my money there. Simple as that, really. I just wish they would be more like, for example, France, and have more airs. I just can't see how they can't welcome people into their towns or cities, villages, and it's particularly overnight, the no overnight parking. The car parks are empty, all the shoppers are gone. You know, why not get the motorhomes and camper vans in there where they're going to stop for the night, they're going to, you know, top up on their supplies, their groceries, they're probably going to pop to the pub, they're probably going to go out for a meal, spend money, you know, on tourist attractions and things, or theatre, whatever's there. It's just so short-sighted. I just don't get it. I know, you know, the argument of, oh, well, you know, they leave rubbish, blah, blah, blah. Some maybe do, but also so do lots of cars throw out their McDonald's wrappers, their takeaway wrappers, their coffee cups, you know, they fling it all over the place. You know, it's not always the people in the camper vans who are doing such a thing. In fact, a lot of people, myself included, will, well, if I park up somewhere and there's some rubbish, I'll try and pick it up and tidy the place up. It's just a shame that people don't have the respect or the pride to keep the country beautiful. Crying shame, really. That's what's wrong with the world. But anyway, I'm off on a tangent, aren't I? So I need to keep my eyes open now and see what I can come across. Nothing exciting at the moment. So we'll join again later. So I've I've just seen a sign off the A7 for the Gilnockie Tower. So I'm just going to pop along and take a little look. This is what I love, just any deviation. Oh, I can see it over there in the distance, see it on the right. Oh, that's lovely. I wonder what the history of that is then. Hopefully we can get parked and have a little look. Interesting. Man on the Moon, the Neil Armstrong collection. The clown.
In 200 yards, make a U-turn.
My sat-nav's trying to take me back on the road. This is gorgeous. Apologies if the footage is going to be bumpy, but there's a lot of potholes down this track. I can see the river to the left, that's high. I've seen lots of flooding on the way, loads of fields flooded, etc. So this was only a 2-minute drive off of the A7.
Make a U-turn, then turn right.
My sat-nav. So here we are at the tower. I haven't got my gimbal thing out working yet, and I don't want to mess around for half an hour trying to sort it in a minute, so I'll try and do that later. There's a little museum as well, apparently. I'm not quite sure where, probably over there. Let's have a little look. Oh yes, there's the river. Very high. I passed the river earlier and it was brown, where there'd been so much rainfall. Hello. Just part of the route. I've just left that Gilnockie Tower. And there looks to be some nice scenery moment to go, so we'll see if we come upon it. Just to give you an idea of what the road's like on the A7. Shields is further up. Actually going across the river here. The colours are starting to come out lovely for autumn. Is really in full force. Oh, there's a lovely mill house to the left, but I just can't stop, it's not safe. Traffic behind me, unfortunately. There's a mill house on the left here. Yes, it's literally white water. Well, I say white water, it's brown water, but you know what I mean. Really, really fast flowing. I have people from around the world who watch. Drop in comments, whereabouts in the world are you from? That'd be really interesting to find out. So, Langholm, birthplace of Hugh McDiarmid. I probably pronounced that wrong. Okay, we've got a 20 limit here. Goodness me, 20 feels like you're walking, doesn't it? Going on. Fuel diesel 141.9. I paid 134.9, I think it was, in Bolton, and I've seen it at 146. No, was it 146? No, it was 156 on one of the services. What a rip off. I won't keep waffling, I'll let you enjoy the scenery. Slightly bent, straighten you up a little bit. Should have a stiff neck. In here before. Aha! I recognise this. Just gonna have a quick look at the river. Take you out so you can have a little peek. I won't bother stopping the video. See what the river's like then. Wow. As you can see, pretty fast flowing. The bridge up the other end. Yeah, I remember stopping here for a break before. No overnight, no camping, no sleeping, no whatever, no breathing, no. So there you go. So just having a wander around Hawick, don't know how you say it, Hawick. It's cold, I'm freezing, I haven't warmed up. The water's so high. Anyway, let's go for a wander. Whoops. Being followed. I look aside, I've had my hood up and everything, it's like, I'm freezing. So, I haven't got my gimbal out still yet. So, it was saying the history of Hawick. It derives from the Saxon meaning of the farm enclosed by a hedge. There's today's lesson. it suffered many English cross-border raids during the 15th and 16th century, and its local tradition tells how the tables were turned in 1514, the year after the Battle of Flodden. So yeah, wow. Each June there's a festival, one of the oldest border festivals, celebrates the ancient custom of riding the marches. So that's a little bit about it. Some nice buildings. Now, on my bucket list is to see leaping salmon. Well, I found out that you can see them in this area, a 2-minute walk from where my van's parked. So I've already had one little look. I'm not sure, I think it says end of autumn. Maybe I'm a little bit early. That's a shame if I am. And the water's so muddy, good grief, you can't see anything. So, there's a nice church up there. I'm going to go and look at that. Here we go. La 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 la. Yeah, sorry I haven't gotten around to the gimbal yet, but it takes a bit of figuring. So, what we got up here? It's rather nice. Don't know if I can zoom out with the video. Oh, I can. That's better, isn't it? At least I think it is. I nearly fell down the curb then. So, as you can see, the storm baby is still going strong. I'm very limited ahead tomorrow. This is a pond there, don't you see? Oh Lord! Anyway, so the church. An ugly building, if I'm honest. It's all sort of just pebble dashed. Yeah, not impressed with the church. Nice tower up the top, looks nice from a distance, however, yeah, not great, in my opinion. Some lovely buildings though that I can see in the distance. I also haven't got my microphone sorted yet, so I'm hoping you can hear me. I'll speak loud. So it's 4:30 on a Saturday. Nearly all the shops are closed already. Been a few people wandering about, but quite a ghost town if I'm honest. So I sort of parked here thinking, oh, I'll go out, maybe go out tonight, but nothing's struck me yet. And also, when I pulled into the parking spot, I realised I've been here twice before. Groundhog Day. I think I'm losing my marbles. So yeah, you can probably see behind, not a massive amount going on. Loads of shops closed, which is a shame. So I decided to come out for an early bite to eat. So I've come to the good old Spoons. You can't go wrong, can you? So, cheers. I'm having a curry, so I shall sit and wait for that. That'll warm me up. I feel nice and warm anyway. I'm right next to the radiator. Happy days. So that's it for today really. I'm going to try and go and have a look down where the possible salmon might be, but it might be a bit too early in the season, I'm not sure. Then I shall get my feet up, have a little tipple in the van, as you do, and I might upload this to YouTube. I might do a daily one rather than a huge, great big long one. So yeah, cool, have a good evening.